YouTube, it's Zoe at Hunts Urban Preps and welcome. Here I am reporting from the polytunnel because it's 8:30 in the evening on Friday the 23rd of July, allotment vlog number 10. I'll do it like that and I'll see if I put it up there when it comes up. If I can work out how to edit that in, that'll be fun. So anyway, I am appointing from the polytunnel because it's a bit cooler. I've got a lovely wind going outside. I don't know if you can see behind me. I've got some, which I'll show you at the end, some lovely sunflowers blowing around in the wind behind me. I've got tomato plants here and I've got peppers here. This is my mystery peppers. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them on the camera. I was supposed to be bell peppers, but I don't know what they are. They're sticky up green ones at the moment, so I'm going to thing. And I've got my cayenne peppers, which are beautiful, coming up at the back. I don't know if you can see that one. Get it in the thing. I've got some cucumbers coming up here, which I've just managed to strap all up because they went wild, which I'm relieved to have some in the thing, because the ones I put outside, I think I've got two that are still holding on, and they're not, and I put the squashes too close and they've been completely swamped. So luckily I've got three here in a pot, and I've got more peppers behind me here. These are like long sweet red ones. So this is my beautiful, everything's just so beautiful in here. It feels like a success in here, not so much outside. Well, it has. Things have gone crazy out there. I've had some great, I've just dug up all my banana shallots, which look lovely. So I'm going to take some home to make a soup out of them, because I've got a bonbon squash as well to take home. And loads of courgettes, which is my favourite soup. I usually use onions, but I'm sure banana shallots will be just as good. So I'm going to make up a lovely batch of soup with those. So that's good. And and that's going to clear a plot so I can put my peas in, my second lot of peas, which I just haven't had time. I'm waiting for some arches because I've got a net to put over them in a new spot. So that's the spot I've got for those now. So it's made me really happy. And that's pretty much everything that's been happening, really. I'm getting stuff. I'm getting a lot of courgettes, and the borlotti beans are all starting to grow. And I've got little tiny baby, what are they called? Green beans, the runner beans. That's the ones, runner beans. So they're on their way. So that's good. I think the parrots have eaten my green plums because I seem to only have half left. But my mum gave me a crow, so I must remember to bring him up. I've got to glue his feet on and bring him up and put him on top of the shed overlooking my fruit trees to see if that helps scare off those parrots. Because we're here, where I live in Kent, we actually have like swarms of green parrots that come along and eat everything inside, so you have to be really careful. But everything else is doing really well. I've cleared most of the kohlrabi now, and I put in seeds at home for the next lot, and I've got some green ones in that are just starting to come up, and the broccoli's just starting to come up. I've just seen one sprout out of nowhere. It looks like it's gone to seed, which wasn't there last week. Squash is all growing. I've got one beautiful pumpkin coming up, which I'll show you later. So that's all the good news. But what I'm going to talk to you about today is the bad news, because here in Kent we're on a red warning for blight. Due to all the wet weather we've had. This year has been mad. I mean, first of all, we had the drought of April. I mean, who has a drought in April? A cold drought. Then we had like a weird hot spell. Then we had a mad cold spell again that killed off everything everybody put in when they got all excited and went, oh, it's finally over. We had another like late frost in May or something. And then we had wet, just wet, and then we've had the sun, which is great for, it's actually good to get stuff growing now. Everything's gone mad now. You can literally stand and watch it grow. It's loving the sun, but also a lot of diseases and things thrive in this kind of environment. So I've got powdery mildew starting, and I've had the blight. So what happened was, on Wednesday I came up, and Mark from one of the plots over the back, he's like the wise old plot holder, he's absolutely brilliant. He said to me, oh, we've got the blight. He said, I've just had to pull up all my potatoes, so go and check your plot, which I wouldn't have known. I didn't even know what it was, to tell you the truth. So I've now become an expert on blight over 2 days. So anyway, he said to me, have a look. So I come up here and I looked. I've got my tomatoes all in a block together, and I've got 3 big ones at the back. Now I've got most of the other ones of them at home in the garden, luckily, because they're going to be okay, because we've got quite a walled garden, so it's sort of safe, because the blight is in the air. and I checked them and they had it. It's like a fungal infection, and it's black. It had black on the stems and the leaves had all gone, and I was absolutely devastated. So I sat on the floor and stared at them for about 5 minutes thinking, oh, what do I do? And I'm, you know, got up with confidence and I just literally yanked them out of the ground. And the ones in front had a little bit on the bottom leaves, so I've cut all those back, and I've been doing a lot of reading. My door on my greenhouse has just decided to blast open and the sun is directly opposite, which is wonderful. I'll stand here like this, get you do like that and get a bit of shade in. So anyway, I yanked them up and I went home and read about it and just learned everything about it. Found out then that we were actually already on a red warning for it. So the whole of Kent and the southeast are on this warning for blight. And but I think I got to it in time. So I've read up about it, and basically I'll show you when we turn it around what I've gone through and what I've done to do it. And I've added a little bit of something myself, so it's a little bit experimental, to see if that's going to help, because sort of the knowledge I've got of sort of herbal and treating fungal infections and stuff like that, I've kind of put onto the plants and added it to what I've already got, just in the fingers crossed that it might actually be better. But I think I've got up here today and there isn't any more, so I'm really hoping, because it's saying I've actually got one of the tomatoes that's left. Look, these were how big they'd got on it, and they're green. This hasn't actually, the tomatoes didn't have any on it, but the and they haven't gone red yet. I just thought I'd stick this one in here. I've given it a wash and made sure it's not nothing on it, and to see if it will just go red in the sun, because it's beautiful. Look at it, heirloom tomato. And I had to drink 3 plants full of them. I had to pull up and throw away. So that's the highs and lows of allotment in. And also I've got the start of the powdery mildew, which is another thing. Now I've set my stuff quite far apart, so I'm hoping that some of them, but I've had some. I had one cucumber in here, one leaf had it on. Luckily the spray I've made should do both, because powdery mildew is a fungus as well. The only difference is with powdery mildew is if you cut off the leaves of the plant and you spray it and treat it, then it doesn't affect the fruit anyway, so you don't have to destroy the whole plant. Whereas with blight, the plant's got to go, because it gets into the ground and it can come up next year. And I've just put in some new potatoes in the front, so fingers crossed I got to it in time. So without much further ado, I'm not going to really talk about a nutritional thing today, because I just really want to talk about what I did for the blight, and hopefully that we can get some information to help some other people that might be able to stop it, and just to tell everybody to go and check theirs if you've had similar weather conditions, or you're in the UK and you're watching this, because I've walked around the plot. Well, then I walk just the way I walk to go and come in, because ours is like in the dead centre. And I can see already there's like a plot behind us, her potatoes have got it, and there's a plot over the back, their potatoes have got it, and there's somebody over that side, I can see that their tomatoes have got it. So if they just miss it, and this is the trouble when you're on allotment, if everyone's got it and it's in the air, the likelihood is, especially with this wind blowing around, that it is. And also the treatment that I've got, it's the reason why, one of the reasons I've come up late tonight is because I wanted to spray the leaves on everything with the spray I've made, which I'll talk about when I finished. Actually, I'll talk about the spray now. Where is the spray? Oh, it's out there somewhere. So I'll talk about what I've done for the ground and the actual plant when I show you the plant. But the spray I've made is bicarbonate of soda, is meant to stop it from spreading onto the leaves and halt it where it is. But I've added a little bit of borax, because I actually take borax myself, and borax is amazing, and I actually add it to my plants and I feed my plants with it, because we don't have enough borax, which turns into boron, in our plants today, whereas some countries have it like really high, and it helps with things like arthritis and that. So I actually take it anyway, but I add it to my plants so that I can raise the boron level of the minerals inside of my plants anyway. But it's also a really good antifungal, like you can use it for like human fungal infections. So I've added a teaspoon of that to the spray with the bicarbonate of soda, in the hope that that might help like kill it off and spread it. And I know that will also help with the powdery mildew on all the squashes, like the cucumbers and the courgettes, and the squashes is where you get the powdery mildew. I think I forgot to say that before. So I'm going to spray it, but you have to, waiting for the sun. The sun's not too bad now, it still is a bit, but it's at a funny angle, so you can't do it in the direct sunlight, because what happens is when you spray the leaves, it just creates like more place for disease, or it wilts the leaves and makes the leaves really sick. So you have to wait till it's later on in the day, early evening, to spray them. And that's what I'm going to do with the spray now. So without further ado, no, like I said, sorry, no nutritional thing today, but a little thing about borax, which you might help you know. And I'll actually do a link underneath to the borax conspiracy if you want to understand what I'm actually talking about when I do a link into the video description. So read below, guys, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, which I will ask you to do at the end, because it's a really big help if I can just get out there. It makes all my hard work a little bit better, and it's quite fun having comments. Please give me a comment, let me know what you think, let me know if you've had the powdery mildew or the blight. So anyway, I'm going to flip you over now, and then at the end I'm just going to take you to show you my sunflowers, so you've got like a nice little surprise at the end to just cheer us all up, because it's really quite horrible. So see you on the other side. Okay, so welcome back. So here we are, and here you can see, here are my tomato plants. I don't know if you can see in the sunshine, but as you can see, I've had to brutalise the bottoms of them to get rid of any, as you can see here. I don't know if that's it, but just take off anything that looks like it's got it on. Get rid of it. And right, let's talk about what I've done. So these are where the back three were, and I've ripped them up. And I have taken off all the bottom leaves, anything here on these back ones that were closest. As you can see, that one looks completely stripped. I've had to be really harsh. So I've got rid of all of them here, and these are my later tomatoes. I just hope that they make a bit of a comeback, and I've got them. Now what I've done is I've treated the ground. As you can see, I've put the sawdust down. What you're supposed to do is, I've read up, is that you put bicarbonate of soda into the ground, and this will kill any spores that are inside of the ground. And then you cover it with the sawdust or straw or mulch, whatever you can get your hands on, that will stop it getting into the ground on any more. See these ones at the front are actually okay. And there you go. And then I've just got a spray bottle, and in the spray bottle I've put some neem oil, a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, a teaspoon of borax, and I've mixed it all up, and I'm just going to now just spray the plant. As you can see, just give the plant a little spray, and you need to do this later on in the day. Neem oil is really good at stopping stuff from spreading, and it stinks, but it's meant to be brilliant. And I'm hoping that the bicarb and everything else will just help stop it spreading, and I'll keep you updated, really. Oh look, little basil there, isn't that beautiful? So there you can see, it's looking a little bit sparse. At least there's no weeds there now. And hopefully, see, I've got some tomato flowers on the back of that one, in the hope that I might still get some outdoor tomatoes. But like I say, I have got some in pots at home, and I have got some in the greenhouse, which fingers crossed will be. And here's my courgettes looking all a little bit floppy, and there's the squash that have gone crazy. And I'm going to spray, you can see here on this, it's just this very start. I've taken out most of the leaves on all the squashes that have had it, but here's one here with the powdery mildew, which is on the squash leaves, the start of that. And once that spreads, it turns all of your leaves, they go like crusty and hard. You can still get some fruit on them, but they don't really, they're not drawing in the energy from the sun to feed into the plants. So we're going to treat that as well. One last trip round the back, and here we are. Finally got some sunflowers, and look how beautiful they are. I've never grown sunflowers before, and these guys, just so lovely. I'm so happy to have some little sunflowers. So everybody, thank you. A little pan around the back. You can see in the greenhouse where I was, in Holly House. Everything is overgrown. We're coming up next week. I'm trimming everything back. If we've got more more rain. Look at the size of my corn. If we look at more rain, I don't know what to do. And we've got the start of the corns coming through here. Look at the corn silk. Very exciting. So, like I say, thank you for watching, everybody. Oh, I'll show you the little baby runner beans. There we go. Try and find them. Where were they? Here they are. Tiny. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. And good luck with the blight. Goodbye. All right, quick bit at the end. Just wanted to show you, just show you the stuff that we've got today. So I've got a couple of squash there, bonbon squash, and this is, I'll talk about that another week, but it's a hybrid of a spaghetti squash and a bonbon squash. And these are all my courgettes. It's an 8-ball. Look how beautiful that is. And my banana shallots. Beautiful. So thank you for watching. Bye.